Could Christianity, one of the world's most widely practiced religions, have roots in ancient pagan rituals? This might sound shocking, but a considerable body of historical evidence and scholarly opinion suggests just that. The early Christians living in the Roman Empire existed in a world brimming with diverse religious practices. Many of these practices revolved around the worship of gods and goddesses, often through the act of sacrifice. This sacrificial element, while seeming alien to modern Christian practice, actually forms a central pillar of the Christian faith. Consider the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, the central event in the Christian narrative. This event, from a historical and symbolic perspective, mirrors the sacrificial rituals of ancient pagan religions. Jesus, as the Son of God, is sacrificed to atone for the sins of humanity. This concept of a divine being sacrificed for the greater good is a common thread in many ancient religions. Take the ancient Greek myth of Prometheus, who was punished for the sin of giving fire to humanity, or the Egyptian god Osiris, who was killed and resurrected, symbolizing the cycle of death and rebirth. These stories share striking similarities with the Christian narrative of Jesus' death and resurrection. This is not to say that Christianity merely copied pagan rituals. Rather, it is to acknowledge that religions do not exist in isolation. They interact, influence, and sometimes borrow from each other. Early Christianity, emerging in the diverse religious landscape of the Roman Empire, was no exception. Many scholars, such as Professor Ronald Hutton of the University of Bristol, argue that these parallels are not coincidental. They suggest that early Christians, in an effort to make their religion more palatable to a pagan audience, incorporated elements of pagan ritual and symbolism into their faith. So, what have we learned? Christianity, like all religions, is a product of its time and place. It emerged from a world filled with diverse religious practices, many of which centered around the act of sacrifice. This sacrificial element, far from being alien to Christianity, is at the heart of its most central narrative, the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. In this light, the crucifixion can be seen as a form of human sacrifice, a common practice in many ancient pagan religions. Furthermore, the parallels between the story of Jesus and pagan myths such as that of Prometheus and Osiris suggest a degree of influence or borrowing. This is not to diminish the uniqueness of Christianity or its spiritual significance to its followers. Instead, it is to recognize that religions are not static, but dynamic. They evolve and adapt, absorbing influences from the world around them. Christianity, with its roots in the rich religious tapestry of the Roman Empire, is a prime example of this process. This understanding gives us a deeper appreciation of Christianity, not just as a standalone faith, but as part of a broader human religious and cultural heritage. It reminds us that, at their core, all religions seek to answer the same fundamental questions about life, death, and the divine. And in this shared quest, they are more connected than we might think.